welcome to today's class. Hope you've been enjoying the sessions. Can't believe it's Tuesday already. Another lovely sunny day for us to all enjoy. Let's get started. So we're just going to start laying on the mat, finding our neutral position. So laying down with those knees bent, feet on the floor. You want that curve underneath your lower back. As we lay here, we're just going to start taking nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through a pursed lip. Nice deep breaths in and out. So as you're taking those nice deep breaths in and out, I want you to think about the position of your hips. So we're keeping them nice and level. Imagine there's a torch on each hip bone and they're shining up parallel to one another onto the ceiling. Keeping the upper body nice and relaxed. Shoulders away from the ears. Chest is nice and open. Keep that weight evenly placed to your feet. So remember, big toe, little toe and heel. And just gently tightening through your tummy. As you breathe out, we're going to tuck the pelvis under. So we're flattening our lower back into the mat. Take a nice deep breath in to stay. Exhale to release out to neutral. Tucking under to flatten. Holding there. Releasing out to neutral. So we're trying to get a nice strong flat back position as we're tucking under. Think of using the pelvis and your tummy muscles to move. Try to avoid squeezing your bottom. And this next one, we're going to hold our flat back position. So tucking under here and we hold. So keeping your nice flat back, there's no gap underneath there. We're going to start to tighten the pelvic floor. So as you breathe out, you're tightening all the way in with the pelvic floor. Inhale to release. Keeping the flat back, it's just the pelvic floor that you're working. Exhale to tighten. Inhale to release. So you're thinking of the sensation of stopping a wee mid-flow. So as you're tightening, you should feel as though your tummy muscles are working harder and that your back is slightly flatter into the floor. Let's half that contraction, so 50% tightening in the pelvic floor as you exhale. Inhale to release. Still keeping the relaxed position through your upper body, so shoulders away from the ears, chest is nice and open. And if you are feeling tense there, you can turn your palms up to the ceiling. We're pulling the tummy all the way down towards the spine and keeping the weight even through the feet. So big toe, little toe and heel. We're going to half one last time. So 20 to 25% tightening. So this should feel like a very gentle lifting. Something that you could sustain throughout any exercise if you needed to. It's just working in the background. So that flat back position should feel nice and strong. You're using your tummy muscles and your pelvic floor to help you to stay there. We're bringing both legs up into tabletop. From here, as you breathe out, you're tapping one toe down towards the mat. Inhale to lift, swapping sides. Tapping down and lift. Tapping down and lift. So keeping your flat back position. Use your tummy, use your pelvic floor. Those shoulders are nice and relaxed. Breathe. We're taking 2 more on each side. Last one each side. And relaxing there to hug those knees in. From here, we're going to go onto our hands and knees. So we're going to bring those hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Your tummy is already nice and tightened here. As you breathe out, you're going to tuck the pelvis under. So we're starting to curve the back. Arching your spine, we're going to drop the head. Holding here, take a nice deep breath in. Exhale to take the pelvis back to your start position, working through the spine, lifting the head. Tucking under to curve. Arching your back. Dropping the head. We hold. Releasing back out through the spine. Piece by piece. Lifting the head. So what we want to do is get lots of movement through your spine. Piece by piece. So think about moving each vertebrae one by one. Any areas that are feeling stiff or sore, we slow them down. Take your time, working through each section piece by piece. So as you're curving your back, think of pulling the tummy all the way in. As you're releasing back to your start position, you're thinking shoulders are away from the ears. We've got 2 more here. Tucking under to curve. Arching the back. Dropping the head. We hold. Releasing out through the spine. Lifting the head. Last one here, tucking under. Curving the back. Dropping the head. We hold. We're releasing out through the spine. Piece by piece. Lifting the head. We push back into a shell stretch. Bottom goes back to the feet. Reaching those arms out in front. Then we go on to our sides. So if you need a pillow or something for your head, you can grab one. Laying down, take the legs one on top of the other. You want the knees bent just for comfort. And your arms are reaching out nice and long. Shoulder height, palm to palm. So from here we're going to lift the top arm up so that the fingertips point to the ceiling. Taking the head with you, start to twist towards the opposite wall. Holding here, we're taking a nice deep breath in. Lifting back up and over. To come down palm to palm. The top arm lifts, fingertips point to the ceiling. Take the head with you, twisting towards the back wall. Holding there to stretch. Before lifting back up and over. To come down palm to palm. So to make sure those legs are still glued together. They're nice and grounded to make sure that the twist is coming through your waist. Keeping the arm reaching long. So you're stretching from your fingertips all the way into your armpit. Keep looking at that hand for as long as you can. Making sure you've got a good range of movement through your neck. We're taking nice deep breaths in and out. I've got 2 more on this side. This is your last one. We're lifting up, fingertips to the ceiling. Taking the head with you, twisting away. We hold. Before we lift back up and over, and come down palm to palm. From here we're swapping sides. So you can either roll over to face the other way, or just change the end that you're laying at your mat. Again, legs are glued together and grounded. Arms are reaching long, palm to palm, resting the head down. We're going to lift that top arm up, fingertips point to the ceiling. Take the head with you, you're twisting away to the opposite wall. Holding there, take your stretch. Before lifting back up and over to come down to your start position. So you're lifting up, fingertips to the ceiling. Taking the head with you, twisting away. Holding here to stretch. Before lifting back up and over to come down palm to to palm. Remember, your legs are glued together. They're nice and grounded. Make sure your twist is coming through the waist. Nice deep breaths. Stretching through the arm, reaching from the fingertips all the way into your armpits. And keep that head looking towards your hand for as long as you can. Trying to make sure that you've got an even range of movement on both sides of your head, both sides of your neck. 2 more on this side, lifting the arm up. Taking the head with you, twisting away. We hold before lifting back up and over. Bring the head with you to come back down. Last one, the arm lifts up. Take the head with you. We're twisting away. Holding here to take your stretch before lifting back up and over to come down palm to palm. From here, we're rolling onto our backs to take our nice full stretch through the body, long through the arms and the legs. Once you've finished having a stretch, we're going to bend the knees and place the feet on the floor. So try to get those knees in line with your hips. We don't want them knocking or splaying out. You're in neutral, so you've got a curve under your lower back. And your arms are resting down beside you. Take a deep breath in to nod the head, chin to chest. Exhale to lift the shoulders from the floor, reaching the arms nice and long. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale to control back down. Chin to chest. Lifting the shoulders, reaching the arms. We hold. Control back down. So we're using the tummy muscles to lift us. You're pulling your belly button all the way down. Using your chin to chest position to try and keep that neck nice and relaxed. So you're thinking nice big nod of the head, then tighten your tummy to lift you. The arms are reaching nice and long. Get those shoulders away from the ears. Tighten your pelvic floor. Let's take 2 more here, then we'll change the arms. Chin to chest. Lifting the shoulders, reaching the arms. We hold. Control back down. Last one here, chin to chest. Lifting the shoulders, reaching the arms. We hold. Control back down. So the beginning of the movement is staying exactly the same. Excuse me. We're just going to change the arms slightly. So we're still going to go chin to chest, lifting the shoulders up. From here, bring one arm across, so opposite hand to knee, and lean over. The other arm is just beside you. Come back to the center, down to your mat. Swap sides, chin to chest, and lift. The arm comes across to reach to the knee. Back to the center, and down. If your neck is sore, bring your hands behind your head. Make sure they're on the head and not the neck. Still chin to chest and lift. Just take one arm away to reach across. Back to the center, down onto the floor. Nod the head and lift. Keep that tummy tightened. You're reaching over to the center and back down. Use your pelvic floor and breathe. Reach to the center and down. Let's take 2 more on each side. Nod the head and lift. Reach over, back to the center and down. Chin to chest, lifting up. We reach over, back to the center and down. 1 more on each side. Nod that head, lift the shoulders. We're going to reach to the knee, back to the center and down. Last one, chin to chest, lifting up, reaching over, back to the center and down. Then just hug those knees into the chest. If your neck is sore, shake the head from side to side. And then we're going to be on our fronts. If you need to, grab yourself a drink. So laying down to your front, bring your hands mat width apart in line with the ears. Legs are just nice and long. From here, we take a nice deep breath in to prepare. As you exhale, push the nose forwards. Lift the head and the chest, keep the forearms down. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale to control back down. Push the nose forwards, lift the head and the chest. We hold, control back down. So we need to be working every muscle in the legs, from the feet all the way into your bottom. At any point you're starting to cramp up through the legs or the feet, just tuck those toes under. That will help to lengthen the back of your legs. Pulling the tummy in. So your bottom and your tummy are working together to keep your back nice and strong. Make sure those shoulders are down. Chest is nice and open. I've got 2 more here. Pushing the nose forwards, lift the head and the chest. We hold at the top. Control back down. Last one here. Push the nose forwards to lift the head and the chest. We hold, control, back down. It's going to add some more movement in. So from here, still pushing the nose forwards, but as you're lifting your head and your chest, opposite arm and leg are going to lift with you. Still staying on the forearm of the other arm, control back down. Push the nose forwards, lift the head and the chest, arm and the leg. Hold, control back down. Try and make sure that you stay quite central through the body, so you're not leaning over into either side. Want to keep those shoulders down. Keep squeezing the bottom, pulling the tummy in. Let's take 2 more on each side. We're lifting up, holding, control back down, lifting up, holding, control back down. Last one each side. Lifting up, hold, control back down, lifting up, holding, control back down. From here, push yourself back into a shell stretch, bottom to the feet, reaching those arms out in front. From there, we're going on to our backs for the 100. Grab yourself a drink if you need one. So, laying onto your back, we want to find a flattened position. So, we're going to be really tucked under to lose that gap. Nothing underneath the spine. From here, we're lifting our legs up into our tabletop position. And try and make sure that your knees are on top of your hips, so don't stay too hinged forwards. So if your neck is really sore, leave your head resting down. If you're okay to move, nod the head, lift those shoulders. From here, the palms are facing the ceiling, so you're going to be pushing up instead of pressing down. So you're still doing 100 repetitions, 5 as you breathe in and 5 as you breathe out, which I will count, so it will look like this. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. From there, we come behind the head like we usually would to take our 2 sets of 8, sitting up towards the legs. From there, we rest the head down. We're going to let those legs lengthen slightly. Remember that if you need to keep a bend through the knee, then you can. I'm going to because I've still got an injury in my hips. So from here, we're going to go into our crisscrosses. So you've got 2 sets of 8 crisscrossing. And if your knees are really bent, then your crisscrosses are there through the bottom of the leg. Then we'll relax and hug the knees in before taking a stretch. So find yourself that nice, strong, flat back position. Make sure you're really tucked under. No gap. Lift those legs into tabletop. If you're lifting your upper body, nod the head, lift the shoulders, arms are long, palms face the ceiling. And we inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tummy in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pelvic floor, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Halfway, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tummy in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Staying there, hands behind the head. Into sit-ups for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8 more. 8, 7, 6. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest the head down. Take the arms beside you. Lengthen your legs as much as you can. We crisscross for 8, 7, 6, 5. Tummies in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Last set. 8, 7, 6. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax there. Hug those knees in. And then bring yourself into that full body stretch. To reach nice and long through the body. From here, we're going to bring ourselves up to sitting. If you need a drink, grab one. Good. So, seated position. You can sit on a cushion or something raised here if you need to. We're going to bring the knees bent and the feet on the floor, and you're going to bring your hands behind you. So think about very slightly leaning into your hands, but don't rely on them to stay in your seated position. Doesn't matter which way your fingers are pointing, so mine are pointing out to the sides, but if you find it more comfortable, they can point towards you or back behind. It's completely up to you. So in this position, I want you to think about rounding your back. So you're going to pull your tummy in to curve your spine. If you suffer from a really, really sore lower back, bring yourself down to your forearms. But if I pull my jumper tight, you should see there's still space underneath it. You're not laying down. You're still lifted. You're just resting on the forearms. So slightly rounded through the back and just pulling the tummy in. From here, we're going to lift one leg up. Then we're going to lift the other leg up. If you feel strong enough to, we're going to take one arm away and then the other. Just breathe in and out and then come down. When you're ready, we reset. Take the arms behind. We're going to lift one leg up, then the other. Take one hand away, then the other. Breathe in and out and come back down. If as you lift your hands away, you're starting to fall back, what I want you to think about is as you pull your tummy in, you're going to tip back on your hips. I don't know if you can see that. If you look at me, it's quite a small movement, but if I go from just being leaning in my hands to pulling my tummy in, watch this, we tuck under. So you're slightly tucking under to come to more of the top of your bottom to then be able to balance there. You can leave one hand down if you need to, but try and get that lift away. Breathe in and out and come back down. If you don't take that breath in and out, you're going to have to stay there. So tucking under, leaning back into the bottom. Lift, lift. Take the hand away, away. Breathe. And back down. We've got two more of these. Take the hands back. Tucking under. We lift, lift. Hand away, away, and down. Last one. Tuck under, lift, lift. Hands, hands. Breathe in and out. Relaxing down. From here, just take a seated position that's nice and comfortable for you, so cross-legged or open through the legs. And we're going to do our little twist through the upper body. So bring your hands so that the elbows are bent and your hands are in towards your chest. We're going to be twisting and flinging is probably an aggressive word, but flinging the arm back to help to give you more momentum, okay? Think of looking at your hands so you know the whole of the upper body is twisting. So we're going to go twist, pulse, center. Twist, pulse, center. Breathe, breathe in. In. Okay, your shoulders down. Think of it being like two little pulses. So let the rebound just come from your initial twist. So it shouldn't be like a twist, back, twist. It should be quite fluid, but you're pushing the arm away. And that's what's going to give you that extra twist. The hips are nice and stabilised because we're sitting on top of them. And you're taking nice deep breaths. In. 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 Two more each side. Twist, twist, in. Twist, twist, in. One more each side. Just relax those arms. Take the soles of your feet together. So your knees are wide, hips are open. Curve yourself forwards. That stretch is a really nice one if you do start to feel really stiff through the back. Just gives you that little bit of loosening in a different direction. If you want to increase this stretch, just push those elbows into the legs, holding onto the feet and drop forwards. Good, we're going to go onto our backs, finding a flattened position. You can have a drink if you need one here. So from here we want to find that nice strong flat back position, really tucked under. we're losing that gap. We're going to do the same movements that we did yesterday. If you joined in, if you didn't, it doesn't matter. I'll explain them. Bring those legs up and we go straight into our long position. The same as with the 100. It doesn't matter here if your knees are slightly bent. Just the longest position that you can maintain. I'd rather that you kept the knees bent and continued with the movement. Arms are reaching up towards the ceiling. As you breathe out, you're going to look at your knees downwards as you start to lift the shoulders up, reaching towards the feet. Inhale to come back down. Exhale to lift. Inhale down. So you want to keep your eyes looking to your knees or lower to make sure that your neck is in that nodded position and relaxed. If you need to support the head, take one hand behind and the other arm reaches towards the feet. Swapping each time if you can. Doesn't matter if the knees are bent, you're reaching past the knees. Pull the tummy in, tighten your pelvic floor. Get that flat back nice and strong. We've got 2 more of these. Lifting up. And down. Lifting up. And down, hug those knees in. So we're going to go on to the same position with the body to add in our twist. Just take a moment to check your flat back is really strong before you lift those legs up again. So we're going to do the same twist that we did in our little mini sit-ups at the beginning. So arms are again reached up. And as you nod your head to look to your knees, you lift. But you're taking one arm across towards that leg. Just the one arm. The other arm can just stay nice and relaxed. Come back to the centre. Other side, lift up, reach one arm over. So we're just going to reach one arm to try and get a little more length through that arm and a little bit more lift. If you're taking both arms, sometimes people tend to grab the leg a little bit more, and I want you to reach over. I don't mind if this hand is touching. Back down, swapping sides, lift, reach over, and back down. If you need to support the head, supporting with one arm, reaching over with the other. Still look to those knees. So you're relaxing through the neck. Tighten through the pelvic floor, through the tummy. Making sure your flat back is nice and strong. 2 more on each side. Lift up and over. Coming back down, lifting up and over. Back down, 1 more on each side, lift up and over. Control, back down, last one, lifting up and over. Back down, hug those knees in, rock from side to side. Good. This exercise we're going to change from what we did yesterday. So we're going to do a variation on the dead bug, just to confuse you all. So nice strong flat back. Really make sure that there's no gaps underneath it. Bring your legs into tabletop. Arms are going to reach up to the ceiling. So usually when we move here, we're taking opposite arm and leg away from the body. What we're going to do this time is take the same arm and leg away from the body. Okay, so it doesn't matter which side you start on. One arm and leg stay pointing to the ceiling. The other arm and leg move away. Come back in. Swap sides. Reaching away. And in. It doesn't matter if the leg that you're moving, the knee is still bent. If you're watching me, my leg is staying in the same position, so my knee is still bent. If you want to straighten out the leg, you can. It's absolutely fine. Just to make sure you're in a nice, strong, flat back position. So pull your tummy down and tighten the pelvic floor. Try and keep the arm long. You shouldn't feel the need to bend in the elbow. Nice deep breaths. Get those shoulders away from the ears. Your head is down, so you should be keeping the neck nice and relaxed. So this should feel a little bit easier on your brain, moving the same arm and leg. If you can hear a cracking noise, that is my knees. I'm sorry about that. Let's take 2 more on each side, reaching away and in. Away and in. Last time each side, reaching away and in. Away and in. Hug those knees in. And straight into a nice full body stretch. Whilst you're taking this stretch, leave your arms where they are. If you are feeling tight for your hips, just come back into that soles of the feet together and knees wide, and just give the knees a little bounce up and down, and that should just help you to open up through your hips. I'm doing the stretch more for me, but if lots of us have been sitting, then we'll have tight hip flexors. From here, just take the legs bent, feet on the floor. Neutral this time, so you can have your curve under your lower back, and place your hands down beside you. Just check that those knees are in line with your hips. We don't want them spilling out or tipping in. Arms are just relaxed beside you. We're going to take a nice deep breath in to prepare. As you exhale, squeeze your bottom. Push those hips up nice and high. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale to come down. So we don't want you to roll through the spine. This is just a drive straight up through those hips, holding there as you take your breath in, and then controlling down. So we want to keep that weight evenly placed through the feet. Big toe, little toe and heel. You're using the squeeze of your bottom to get those hips up off of the ground. You're pushing the knees away, stretching down the front of the leg. Tummy is nice and tightened. Pull the belly button down. Keep the chest and the rib cage in line. Don't tense up through the shoulders. Get them away from the ears. If you need to open up the chest, you can turn those palms up to the ceiling. Nice deep breaths. We're going to tighten through the pelvic floor, making sure that we're strengthening deep into those lower tummy muscles. You've got 2 more here. You're holding your lifted position. Coming back down. This is your last one. We're holding at the top. Lifting up. Holding this lifted position. You're keeping those hips as high as you can. We're going to march through the feet. So you're just going to do tiny steps. It will feel quite difficult to get that foot off the floor. Don't try and lift it too high. Just little steps. Keep the hips high. Don't let them drop. Step, 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 step. Breathe. Tummy's pulled in. 4 more steps. Step, 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 step. Hips are high. Then control down. Those legs out long, arms out long. Give your legs a little shake out. Okay, we're going on to our fronts. Grab a drink if you need one. So as we come onto our fronts, laying down, We're going to want to take the legs out wide, mat width apart, turn them out. We're going to take those arms nice and wide as well, again mat width apart in line with your ears. Taking our nice deep breath in to prepare. Exhale to push the nose forwards, lifting the head and the chest. Now we're pressing down into the hands to lift ourselves up, just as high as you can go. Holding here, take a deep breath in. Exhale to control back down onto the floor. Push the nose forwards. Lift the head and the chest. You're just lifting to where you can go. So where my movement here is small, that doesn't matter if this is you. Holding here. Control back down. So just lift to where your body will allow you to move. Doesn't matter if you feel that small or high. Just make sure if you are high, your hips are down. Work up those legs into the bottom and pull that tummy in. We need that back to be nice and strong now that you're in full extension with your spine. No matter how high or low you're lifting, that is your full extension. Get that back supported. Make sure your shoulders are down, your chest is really open. Think about being tall through the body. Head is lifted. Nice and controlled. Let's take 2 more here, then we'll add more movement in. Push the nose forwards, lift your head and your chest. Pressing down to lift up. We hold. Control back down. Last one here. Push the nose forwards, lift your head and your chest. Pressing down, lift up. We hold. Control back down. So we're going to add some movement through the legs and through the head. We're staying in the same position with the body. This is one of my favourites. So we're going to push the nose forwards to lift the head and the chest to where you can go, pressing down. Doesn't matter if that's low, just go to where you can work. Lift one leg up, then the other. So bending through the knee here. And then I want to look up towards the ceiling. Some of you won't have a great deal of range of movement through the neck here, that doesn't matter. Put your head back to looking forwards. Bring your legs down, then your body. Don't let everything come down together. So I'll show you again. Push the nose forwards, lift the head and the chest, pressing down to lift high. One leg lifts, the other leg lifts. Look up towards the ceiling. The head looks forwards, the legs come down, then your upper body. Squeeze your bottom. Pull your tummy in. One leg, the other leg. Look up. Head down. Legs come down. Control yourself to the floor. So you want to think, imagine that you're trying to get your head to touch your feet. That's very unlikely to happen, but if you have that sense of stretch, you'll find you'll have a better range of movement. You still want the rest of your form to be good. Keep the shoulders down. Breathe. Should not be holding your breath here. As you look up, you should feel the front of your body stretching out. We're going to do 2 more of these. Push that nose forwards, lift your head and your chest, pressing down to lift to your highest position. The leg lifts, the other leg lifts. We look up. The head comes step back, the legs come down. Control back down. This is your last one. Push the nose forwards, lift your head and your chest, press down. The leg lifts, the leg lifts. We look up, look forwards, legs come down. Control back down. Push yourself back into a shell stretch. So bottom to the feet, reach those arms out in front. And just creep those hands a tiny bit further forwards, increase that stretch. Then we're coming on to our hands and knees. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Tummy's nice and tightened. We're going to take opposite arm and leg, nice and long, and we lift. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale to control back down, swapping sides, reaching long and lift. We hold, control back down. So we want to make a nice long line from the tips of the fingers to the ends of the toes. So it doesn't matter how high or low your arm and your leg are moving, what we want is that length. So straightening as much as you can through your elbow and your knee. The tummy's pulled all the way in. To try and make sure that your back stays nice and strong. I think you're really stabilising your balance. Bringing your hands back underneath your shoulders is also going to help with your balance. If they start to creep too far in front of you, you're going to feel wobbly as you lift from the floor. Let's take 2 more on each side, then we'll add some movement in. So we've got last one each side. Oh, some bee just joined me on my mat. So reaching nice and long, holding there, and down. Last one, reaching long, and down. So from here, we're going to add a diagonal movement through the leg. So you're still going to reach out nice and long, reaching with the arm and the leg, but the leg is going to come across and down towards the floor. Back up. You're going to do 4 of those. 3, 4, lift back up, and down. Swap sides, reach long and lift. We're coming down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, come back down. So just swapping sides each time. Keep the arm nice and long. You shouldn't need to bend through the leg. It's just that nice long line. And back in. Reach long, come down, 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 and lift. Let's take 2 more on each side. Down, 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 and lift in. Reach out, come down, 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 and in. 1 more each side. Come down, 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 and in. Last time, reaching down, 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 and in. Relax down, roll through your wrists. So we're going to stay on our hands and knees. I'm just going to get rid of this bee so that I don't get stung. Okay, so staying on the hands and knees. This time tucking those toes under. So if your wrists are really sore from that last movement, you can drop down onto your forearms. If not, we're going to stay on long arms. So from here, as you breathe out, pulling that tummy in, pressing down into the hands and the feet, the knees lift just an inch or so. Inhale down. Exhale to lift. Inhale down. So the tummy is lifting you. Your hands and your feet are there for support, lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. So if you're on your forearms, you're just closer to the ground. Still lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. So making sure that back stays nice and long. Nice deep breaths. And lift. Let's take 4 more. Lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. Last 2. Lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. Relax there. Roll through your wrists. We're going to go into our planks. So if you know your feet slip on your mat and you're on a carpeted area, you can use that. Just come off of it. If not, staying on the mat. Again, you can be on long arms or on your forearms, whichever you prefer, really. Oh, the bee has come to join me again. So, from here, bring your hands to the front of your mat. We're going to step ourselves back and back. Find a nice strong plank position. We're going to lift up and down. Lift up and down with the legs. Put the knees down. So just taking it more back to what we did in the first kind of week. And just taking those at your own pace. Stepping back and back. Long plank. Lift the leg up and down. Lift up and down. Bring those knees down. Just continuing here. Step back, lifting up. Lift the leg and down. Leg and down. Bring those knees back down. Just keep repeating like that. Step back, lift up and down, lift up and down, knees go down. If you're on your forearms, you're just closer to the ground. Exactly the same movement. Lifting up and down, knees down. 2 more here. Step back, strong plank. Lift up and down, lift up and down, knees go down. Last one, step back and back, strong plank. Lift the leg and down, lift the leg and down. Put those knees down. Relax there and roll through those wrists. From there, just come into a kneeling position, control that breathing. And we're going to roll those shoulders back. And forwards. Bring the arms out to the sides. We're lifting ourselves up, reaching over, back to the centre. We're lifting up, stretching over, back to the centre. One more time each side, lift up and over, back to the centre, lifting up and over, back to the centre. That's today's session finished. Thank you so much for joining me for today's session. I'm sorry about the little interlude with the bumblebee. I hope you all enjoyed it. Drop me a comment below to let me know how you found the session. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a lovely day. Bye.